of the year. The Rally of Portugal coming up as round 3 in the championship after wins so far in the season in the Monte Carlo Rally for Subaru and in the Swedish Rally for Mitsubishi. First day, so 11 stages, with a change of start point from the Estoril circuit to Figueira de Fez instead. Well, fastest on the opening stage, 4 times world champion Juha Kankkunen, and winner of the Portugal Rally in 1992 and last year in 1994. Toyota certainly seem to have cured their lack of power and lack of speed from the first 2 events. A lot of work going on the electronics, controlling the engine, and the Toyota drivers are a lot more happy with the usable power of the Celicas.
Flat left 70, flat left and long easy right.
Nicky Grist giving the notes.
Flat long fast left narrows, and easy right, 120.
Kankkunen certainly in flying form, setting 5 of the fastest stages times out of 9 stages. An excellent performance. Carlos Sainz, the winner of the Monte Carlo Rally. He retired in Sweden after Subaru had all sorts of engine problems, and indeed suffering from a lack of power on this initial day in Portugal.
Derecha buenamente, se tira poco y se abre. Para izquierda calenta, abrirse, izquierda buena posición, tercera en cruz y se cierra. Para uno frenando mucho, derecha media se cierra. Sasar, para izquierda que corta, 1.
Lewis Moyer giving the pace notes, but Sainz would attack Kankkunen's lead later in the day and really put the pressure on. Francois Delacour for Ford, who took his first ever World Championship Rally win here in Portugal back in 1993. But it wasn't to go quite so well on this occasion. Take a look from on board. Delacour just clipping a boulder on the inside of the left-hander, flicking the car up onto 2 wheels and then over onto its roof. Well, the spectators were soon on hand to try and get him upright again. And indeed, they were able to carry on through to the end of the stage and get to the service halt. We spoke to Delacour as he arrived.
You seem to have given the mechanics quite a lot to do at this service. What's actually happened?
Nothing really bad, because it was in a very, very slow corner in the first gear. I cut too much a corner. There was a big rocks, and then after I rolled, and I was calling somebody to help me to put the car again on the wheel, and I lose about 1 minute 30, 1 minute 40. But the car is still okay. There is not a big problem. Only the body shell is bad.
Is Catherine all right after the roll?
Yeah, no problem. But the big problem for us was to do 50 kilometers without screen, and it was very cold in the car.
Well, Delacour making it through to that hole, but a lot of work for the mechanics, and indeed worried about steering and suspension problems, losing him quite a lot of time. He lost 8 minutes as extra repairs were made. We spoke to John Taylor, the operations manager for the RAS Ford team, about the incident.
John, what was actually the problem there?
Well, when the car came to go, they checked the steering again, and they found that it was not safe for the car to proceed, so they had to change the power steering rack. And we have a maximum lateness out of a service of 10 minutes, and to change the rack and get everything bled in time wasn't possible. So we sent the car away. The rack is on, the steering's okay, it doesn't have power steering.
Well, power steering or not, in fact, didn't make much difference, because Delacour retired 2 stages later with oil pressure failure, and perhaps the engine suffering from that earlier roll. What of the reigning world champion Didier Auriol? Well, things not going too well.
Better engine than Swedish, but okay. handling, it's not perfect, I think. So just see on those 3 first stage what happened, and after.
Gloria was actually coming up to second place to Kankkunen. And so things improving for the Frenchman with the Toyota after a difficult start to the season for him as well. Colin McRae, Britain's hope in the Subaru, one of the fastest drivers in gravel stages normally, and staying in the top 5, but definitely suffering a big lack of power from the Subaru. Perhaps ProDrive deciding to play a little safe on engine specification after the problems in Sweden, but McRae certainly complaining about the lack of power that he was getting from his flat 4-cylinder engine. Bruno Thierry is the second representative for
Ford. Do you think that this could be the one for you?
Yes, I hope to win one rally. I hope that I don't wait 4 or 5 years to win my first rally. I try to do my best to be in the podium anyway here in Portugal. I try.
Well, Thierry was certainly going pretty well, up into the top 7 on the first day, but not quite able to match the pace of the front-running Toyotas and Subarus. Armin Schwartz was in the third of the Toyotas and flying through the air with no problems at all. He's retired 4 times on his previous tries on the Portuguese rally, so hoping for better things this time, but poor tyre choice holding him back. Another British driver, Richard Burns, his first rally for 3 months and the first time competing in Portugal, supporting his teammates Carlos Sainz and Colin McRae, and gradually settling himself in to the job. Also acting as a support driver, Alex Fiorio for the Ford team. Also hasn't been rallying for quite a while. Last time he was in a rally car was last September, so it was taking him a few stages to get it together. In Group N, Isolde Holderried, the German lady driver, was going very well indeed in the Mitsubishi Lancer. No Group A cars here in Portugal. The winners from Sweden, Mitsubishi, deciding not to take part in this event, but hoping that they can still gain points from Group N. In Formula 2, Gregoire de Mévius going well.
With Nissan.
It's good to be back. Yes, I enjoy it very much, and it's nice to be here also. I think it's a very nice rally, and so altogether I'm quite happy.
On board here with Pavel Sabira in the Skoda. But Skoda weren't to have quite such a successful run of it on this occasion. Emil Treiner in the second of the cars here. Both cars in the top 20 on the first day, but both would go out on day 2 with gearbox failure. Well, as the day carried on through and into the night stages, Carlos Sainz dramatically grabbed the lead on the very last stage. It was only a tenuous lead of 6 seconds.
Of course, when you are leading, it's always better than when you are behind, even if it is for a few seconds.
Well, what about leading the rally out? Is that going to play a part tomorrow?
No, I don't think it is a big difference. The only thing is if it is a surprise or a mud, which you don't expect, maybe opening the road is not so good, but I prefer to open the road. I have no problem.
And how about this for a problem for Juha Kankkunen, hitting the grass bank? We spoke to him about it.
Just hit the stone and bent the steering arm, and then I was trying to fix it myself, but we had only 8 minutes, so I couldn't do. I just managed to do it a little bit, but it was very difficult to drive on the last stage and lost some time there. Very simple, but I try again tomorrow.
So already it was turning into a huge battle between Juha Kankkunen and Carlos Sainz, with only 6 seconds separating them at the end of the first leg. We were in for a real treat. Didier Auriol in third and Colin McRae holding on to 4th place in his Down and Power Subaru. The map for day 2, another 11 stages, will start at 8 o'clock in the morning. And the start being held traditionally at the Lousada Rallycross circuit, where the cars actually run off against one another on a mixture of tarmac and loose surface. Starting things off, Carlos Sainz versus Juha Kankkunen. Well, this an immensely popular stage of the Portuguese rally, always attended by thousands of people and shown live on Portuguese television. A chance for the rally drivers to actually see their competition and be up against each other, which only happens once or twice a year, similar to the Race of Champions event held at the year, but this just acting as one of the stages for the Portuguese rally. Well, Kankkunen out to beat the stage record, which was currently held by Carlos Sainz, and indeed Kankkunen was very quick indeed and was able to take the advantage over the Spaniard. Kankkunen's time would actually be matched by his teammates Didier Auriol and Armin Schwartz, but it was a great effort, and the Toyota's certainly going well on the Lousada circuit. McRae was up against Didier Auriol, but he had a little problem down at one of the hairpins. Armin Schwartz and Bruno Thierry did battle. Toyota versus Ford Escort Cosworth. And former British rally champion Richard Burns was up against the privateer in his Toyota, Marcus Grunholm. Well, away from the Lousada Rallycross circuit and back into the Portuguese countryside. And the battle continuing between Sainz and Kankkunen. Well, Sainz won the Portuguese rally back in 1991 and was now the first man on the road and trying to set the pace and get away from Kankkunen.
Derecha media de tierra. Sasar, para izquierda que corta. Uno, derecha rasante, para izquierda buena corta, en terceras de tierra y no corta. Roderas. Para derecha acá mucho ras.
Well, Sainz was certainly attacking very, very hard indeed, but Kankkunen was beginning to close up the gap a little bit. By stage 14, they were equal on time, and Kankkunen was giving it absolutely full commitment in an attempt to take Toyota's first win of the year. By the halfway point through this second day, he'd actually taken the lead, fastest on 3 of the 4 opening stages. Colin McRae was up into 3rd place because what had happened to Didier Auriol? Well, we can see on board. Didier just clipping the inside of the corner. We spoke to him about the incident.
Didier, we saw Bernard's door come open in Pfaff. What was the problem?
It's fine. I go too fast, so he won't go. It's why he opens the door always in the stage.
He wanted to get out.
Exactly, yes.
Bernard Oselli, his co-driver, getting a bit of a massage after that incident. It had dropped them down a place, but they were still in the event. We'll be right back after the next break with more coverage from the Portuguese rally. Don't go away. Back with the Rally of Portugal, and we're on board with Isolde Holderried, 16th overall and lying 3rd in Group N in the Mitsubishi Lancer. Well, Mitsubishi certainly going well with Jorge Recalde in 2nd place in Group N, and leading in Group N the local man Rui Madeira, also in a Mitsubishi Lancer and the reigning Portuguese Group N champion. Alex Fiorio was now up into 9th overall, having only driven this Ford Escort Cosworth on one previous occasion. Gradually getting used to the car and improving his pace and performance.